Nigerians tend to honor those in high position, those with big university degrees, those with big titles like cardinals and bishops and professors. We need them as service to the church and to society. But even more needed is the friar, who is simply known as a friar.
At 40, the Capuchin came in 1984, so this year is 40 years. Now at 40, the Capuchins already have 12 communities in Nigeria. They are almost 120 number. Out of these, we have 50 as priests, 67 are finally professed, while 40 are in temporary vows. We have 6 novices, 6 postulants, 29 students in philosophy, 17 in theology. For example, here in Europe, in our college of San Lorenzo da Brindisi, we have 5 Capuchins in Nigeria studying, though 2 finishing this year. We have others in missions. We have 3 in the province, Tuscany province, helping them now. Then I have some in the United States. Are you satisfied with the level of the growth from 1984 to 2024, 40 years apart?
Yes, satisfied, surprised, grateful to divine providence for the development, praying that this development will continue, hoping also that the Nigerian Capuchins will catch the best of the tradition of the Capuchins in the development of the Franciscan spirit, especially their simplicity. It is true, and it is good that there are some Capuchins who are now even lecturers in the seminary or university. And you are also planning to run some schools. All that is good. But you must keep up the spirit of St. Francis. I don't know all about the Capuchins, but I think St. Anthony of Padua.
He's not a Capuchin, but a Franciscan.
Another Franciscan family.
Yeah, before the Reformation, it was before the Reformation.
Yes.
But after the death of St. Francis, there were 2 reforms. The first one was by the conventuals, and then the Capuchins came afterwards.
And
Anthony was in the time of Francis. He met Francis.
Yes.
Yes.
St. Francis was not very anxious to have professors among his. Is it the case?
Yes.
He wasn't against, but he didn't place them the way Nigerians place them. Nigerians will tend to place those who are professors to be first. That's the tendency in Nigeria. And those who teach and who have big university degrees, which is good. We do not praise God with stupidity or ignorance. Ignorance is not the same as humility, or humility is not the same as ignorance. Nevertheless, our Capuchins must be such that if St. Francis of Assisi came today, he would recognize you and say, yes, you are the best. That is the spirit. That is what I had in mind. Which means, you have said, if I understand, the friars who remain brothers are less in number than those who become priests. It is for you to inquire into the friars in Italy. Would the majority of them be priests or simply friars? Everybody is a friar brother. It isn't, Nigerians tend to honor those in high position, those with big university degrees, those with big titles like cardinals and bishops and professors. We need them as service to the church and to society. But even more needed is the friar, who is simply known as a friar. You will notice that the preacher of the pontifical household today is Cardinal Cantalamessa. But he continues to identify himself as a Capuchin. Even on Good Friday, when in the papal ceremony, it is the preacher of the pontifical household who conducts the homily, not the Pope. That's the tradition in the Vatican. But he keeps his habit as you notice, you see him, you see that's Capuchin, all right, except that he has the zucchetto and the cross. It is very interesting. I am in admiration. I am also in prayer that Nigerians will admire the Capuchin friar, whether that friar is a priest or not a priest, but is a friar. So that in Nigeria, visiting them in community, the people may not even be able to tell who is of them a professor and who is friar, gateman, or gardener, or catechist, or teacher in the primary school, or priest who is always ready to hear confessions, who is always ready to give spiritual advice. So the people see following of Christ, being a religious, as not a matter of power, not a matter of high position, but a matter of following Christ, spreading joy as a religious in the best Capuchin tradition.